Alright, let's take a look at 31. So they're not solved for y, so we're going to use elimination. So you're looking for an easy number to get opposites for. So 9 and 7, the only common multiple they're going to have is 63. Here you could go 6 times 12 and get 72, but you want to think of a nice least common multiple. And so it would actually be easier to take this and have this equal 12. And so we're going to want it to be opposite, and so we're actually going to multiply this bottom equation by -2. So we get 14x, so -2 times -7, and -2 times 6, minus 12y equals -24. And now rewrite the top, -9x plus 12y equals -6. So now that we have opposites, we'll just add them together. And so what's going to happen is these are just going to cross out and go away, so they've been eliminated. And so now I get 5x equals a -30. Divide both sides by a +5. And I end up with x equals -6. So now you can pick which one you want to work with. I'm going to work with the bottom one. And so I'm going to take -7. And instead of writing x, I'm going to write -6 plus 6y equals 12. So this gives us a +42 plus 6y equals 12, minus the 42 from both sides. So this goes away, and we get 6y. Now we have different signs, so we subtract. So you're just going to do 42 minus 12, and so we get 30. And do we have more positives or more negatives? And so we have more negatives, so it's going to be -30. And so now we divide both sides by 6. And we end up with y equals -5. So we think our answer is -6, -5. And so what we'll do is we'll check it. And when you go to check it, since I used the bottom one to get my answer, I'm going to check it into the top one. So I'm going to take the -6 times the -9. So that's going to give me a +54. Now the -5 times the 12 is going to give me a -60. And 54 minus 60 equals -6, which is what we wanted. So that means that we found our solution, -6 and -5. Alright, as we look at 32, now is a great time to pause the video and try 32 on your own. So I was wondering, why shouldn't you argue with a decimal? Because decimals always have a point. Alright, so as we look at this, we want opposites. And so we have a negative and a positive, so we already have opposites. We don't have opposite numbers, so we have opposite signs. And we have opposite signs here too. So I'm actually going to pick the 3 and 5 to work with because they're smaller numbers. And so I'm going to multiply the top by 5. And I'm going to multiply the bottom by 3. And so when I multiply the top by 5, I get -15x minus 30y equals 45. And when I multiply the bottom by 3, I get 15x plus 21y equals -63. And so now I have the opposites that I wanted, that -15 and +15. All we gotta do is add them together, they go away. So I'm left with -9y equals, and so the signs are different, so we're going to subtract. So just off to the side, do 63 minus 45, and so that's going to give us 18. And we want to keep the sign of bigger number, so we have more negatives, so it's -18. So now divide by -9, with y equals positive 2. So pick which equation you want to work with. I'm going to work with the bottom one. And so it's going to be 5x plus 7 times 2 equals negative 21. So 5x plus 14 equals negative 21. So we're going to minus 14 to both sides. So the 14 go away and we get 5x equals a negative. When the signs are the same, you add them up to keep the sign, 35. Now we divide both sides by a positive 5. And we end up with x equals negative 7. So we think our answer is negative 7, positive 2. We're going to check it by taking it and plugging it into the equation we didn't use. So I didn't use the top one to get the answer. So negative 7 times negative 3 is a positive 21. The 2 times minus 6 gives us minus 12. 21 minus 12 equals 9, which is what we wanted. So that means that this point, negative 7, 2, is our solution.